Okay, we're gonna be learning about how to blend colors, how to make them look smooth, and then also taping down to be able to make straight lines. If you ever wanna paint on a straight line or be able to have something from underneath show, then one of the things that we need to do is we need to put down the piece of tape, and then we'll paint clear paint on top of that tape, and that will allow the tape to not do this. You can see how the paint has seeped underneath the tape. Well, if I was to put the tape down first and then paint a clear layer, if I was able to, if I put down the tape first and then painted a clear layer on top, let that dry, and then paint on top of that clear layer, then you can see here how you're able to get a nice crisp edge because the clear seeps underneath and you don't see the clear where it seeped underneath. And then the paint on top of that so that it looks nice and crisp. You got a nice crisp edge. So I'll show you how to do that in a little bit. And you don't have to just use lines. You can also create shapes, larger blockouts, something like this. Okay, I have my 4 squares that have been painted. I know that the X has a different color underneath it. Now I'm going to create 5 squares onto this canvas, 1 in each corner and then 1 in the middle. So I started off by taping down the border. This is going to be the outside of my squares. So you can see here, this line is going to make up that square. Then what I did was I took a square tracer, and so I took this and I put it in the square, lining it up in the corners, just like this. And then I drew a square in this corner, 1 in the dead center, 1 here, and then 1 here. Then I take this off. If you have some extra tape going off this way, that's okay, because I'm just going to be painting the inside of the squares, not on the outside of the squares. The outside of the squares are going to stay the same color. So I'm going to go ahead and tape off each of these squares. You can see that I put my thumb in the middle of the tape on both ends. I pull it tight, and that allows me to lay down the line. And this is going to make up my 5 squares. Each of these will have an ombre, and I'll show you what that looks like in a minute. Once I have all of my 5 squares taped down, make sure that there's nothing on the inside like this one. Then I'm going to put a clear on each of the outs or the inside of each of these squares. It doesn't have to be on the outside because we're only painting the inside. So I'm going to come in here, I'm going to put clear on the inside of the tape of each of these. I can't find my keep looking. It's probably next to the drying rack, taken out of the drying rack.
Yeah, my name coming out pretty good. There you go. Now I'm going to take off my jacket so I don't get paint on it.
Once you're done with your tape, make sure to call me for the clear, and I'll bring you some clear.